From creepy giant heads washing up on shore, to strange creatures spotted in abandoned tunnels, and even some wildlife encounters you won't forget. These are a few of the things we will look at, so stick to the end.
Oh my god.
In this video, a guy's filming on the beach, and he stumbles upon something that's straight up shocking. Right there on the sand, super close to where the waves are crashing in, is this massive crocodile head. But here's the wild part. There's no body, just the head. And it looks like it's been chopped clean off. The side of the head that's showing is huge, way bigger than you'd expect. I've got to say, it's pretty startling to see. You'd never expect to find a crocodile's head like this, especially at the beach by the ocean. Crocs don't hang out in the sea, right? So, it's got me scratching my head, wondering how it ended up there. Was it some kind of fierce fight out in the wild? Or something else? Honestly, I find it a bit creepy and sad too. It's not every day you see something like that, and it's a bit of a reality check about the wild stuff that happens in nature that we don't always see. In this video, we see it from the perspective of a man and his friend who have stumbled upon an intriguing tunnel in a wall late at night. Motivated by curiosity, they decide to investigate where this tunnel might lead. The friend leads the way with a flashlight, and the man with the camera follows into the narrow passage. As they progress further into the tunnel, they pause to scan the area with the flashlight. Suddenly, an unidentified, furry bipedal creature darts out from the depths of the tunnel towards them. The details are unclear due to the poor lighting, but it's evident that the animal is unlike any typical wildlife they've encountered before. Understandably alarmed, the two individuals make a quick and frantic retreat, managing to escape the tunnel. It's one of those encounters that's both thrilling and a little bit terrifying. It makes you wonder what's lurking in the shadows when we're not paying attention. Personally, I'm glad they got out okay, but part of me is super curious about what that creature was. In this intriguing video, a man is driving when he comes across a sight that is as baffling as it is fascinating. Captured from his car, the footage shows a small, thin figure making its way across the street. The figure has the shape and appearance of a human, but is remarkably miniature, standing at about 50 to 60 centimeters, or around 20 inches in height. It's clear from the video that this isn't a child. The proportions are all wrong. The figure is too slender, more akin to a miniature adult than anything else. It's as though an adult has been scaled down by some fantastical shrink machine. The existence of such a being on a regular street is a profound deviation from the ordinary and naturally raises a multitude of questions. Where did it come from? What is it exactly? The footage doesn't provide clear answers, but it does offer a glimpse into the extraordinary, challenging my perceptions of what is possible. Personally, I find the video intriguing, and I can't stop wondering if this is not just an edit. In this video, you're seeing something unusual and intriguing through what seems to be a microscope. There are two orange worm-like creatures arranged end-to-end in a circle. They're moving in a peculiar way, almost like the way our intestines move when they push food through our system. These creatures could be some type of small worms or another kind of microorganism using this movement to get around. What they're doing in that circle is a bit of a mystery. It could be part of their way of eating, moving, or something else we don't understand without more information. Personally, I find it fascinating to catch a glimpse of these tiny life forms. I am not sure what these creatures are, and I am very curious about it. If you know what could they be, write in the comments. The video showcases a series of intriguing photographs capturing the remains of an unusual animal found on an ocean shore. The visuals reveal an animal with fur, positioned belly up, displaying distinctive claws and fangs, a sight that certainly piques curiosity and perhaps a bit of mystery. From the images and the accompanying story, we learn that this peculiar find was made following a storm, suggesting that the turbulent weather may have played a role in bringing the creature to the shore. The mention of experts proposing that it could be a skunk adds an interesting twist to the tale. Skunks are not typically associated with oceanic environments, making this explanation both surprising and a topic of speculation. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. The video presents an unusual sight, filmed from the safety of a woman's home. She captures footage of a creature that defies easy categorization, appearing as a hybrid between a rat and a worm. This peculiar animal moves along the ground near a wall, showcasing characteristics that are both fascinating and a bit unsettling. With the body and movement reminiscent of a worm, combined with the tail of a rat, this creature presents a unique visual puzzle. Its size is notable too, measuring at least 15 centimeters or 6 inches in length and possessing a substantial thickness. The way it moves, akin to the undulating motion of a worm, adds to the intrigue surrounding its appearance. This video makes me very curious of what this creature can be. I am sure I have seen it around somewhere, but I can't remember where. The video captured by a surveillance camera inside a mosque presents a compelling and mysterious scene. It shows individuals dressed in white engaging in prayer or meditation, seated on their knees with their heads and bodies bowed in reverence. A humanoid shadow materializes suddenly, with no apparent source or explanation. This shadowy figure captures our attention as it moves with purpose across the room. Its destination seems to be the door, and as it reaches this threshold, the figure appears to dematerialize or vanish into thin air, leaving no trace of its presence. The appearance of such a figure makes me raise questions and speculations about its nature. One interpretation offered is that it could be a jinn, a being from Islamic mythology known for its ability to shapeshift and appear in various forms, often invisible to the human eye. What do you think this could be? The video captured from a parking lot in a residential area of New Jersey showcases an extraordinary and unusual sight that is as bewildering as it is fascinating. The person behind the camera manages to record a bear. Remarkably, the bear is seen walking on 2 legs, much like a human, as it navigates the street with an almost casual demeanor. As the bear approaches a trash can, it continues to maintain its bipedal stance, peering inside the container with a level of curiosity and scrutiny one might expect from a person rather than a wild animal. Despite this human-like investigation, the bear seems to find nothing of interest, and maintaining its upright posture, decides to simply move on, minding its own business. Personally, I find this video both amusing and a little awe-inspiring. It's a reminder of the unexpected wonders our world has to offer, and the sometimes thin line between human and animal behavior. The video in question offers a glimpse into an extraordinary and somewhat unsettling sight, captured from the back of a truck that's transporting animals. The person filming has stumbled upon a creature that, at first glance, seems to resemble a cow. However, upon closer inspection, it's clear this is no ordinary cow. The most striking feature is the animal's head, which appears to be split in half by a pronounced line that divides not only the head, but also the mouth and tongue. As a result, when the cow opens its mouth, 2 tongues are visible, extending outwards in an unusual display. This peculiar physical trait makes the animal a subject of fascination and speculation. Without knowing more, it's challenging to determine the exact nature or cause of this unique appearance. It could be a rare genetic mutation, or perhaps a condition not commonly seen by the general public. On a personal note, Encountering such a distinctive creature is a reminder of how vast and surprising nature and its anomalies can be. I'm sure most of us would call it a cryptid if we saw it in the wild. The video, captured by a surveillance camera overlooking the yard of a house, depicts a tense and alarming scenario. It shows an individual armed with nothing but a long stick in a desperate attempt to defend themselves against a formidable threat. The tension escalates rapidly as two bears charge into the yard, their intentions unclear, but their presence undeniably menacing. While one of the bears decides to move on, the other, undeterred, launches an attack on the person. The bear's powerful leap results in the individual being knocked to the ground, a moment that must have been fraught with terror. On a personal note, maybe we should keep our homes away from their animals' habitat. This video captures a heart-stopping moment from the perspective of someone who has reached the summit of a mountain after a hike. Their camera pans to a scene unfolding below where a family, consisting of both adults and children, is seen hiking along a path. From the opposite side, emerging from the forest, a bear is spotted running towards them, setting the stage for a potentially terrifying encounter. Despite the distance, the presence of the bear injects a palpable tension into the scene. Remarkably, as the bear draws closer, the family's reaction is one of composed stillness rather than panic. This calm response seems to influence the situation significantly. Midway between the forest's edge and the family, the bear halts its approach, perhaps deterred by the group's tranquility or simply losing interest. After a tense pause, with the bear showing no signs of resuming its advance, the family cautiously continues along the path, aiming to put distance between themselves and the wild visitor. I admire how calm they remained in that situation, and that is what we should all do if we ever get in this situation, no matter how terrified we are. In this intriguing video, filmed on a beach in China, we witness a peculiar and somewhat eerie discovery. The footage is from the perspective of a man observing another individual who holds something quite unusual in his hands. Initially, it appears to be a mere pile of mold or moss, oddly resembling a human-shaped gingerbread in both shape and flatness. The scene takes an unexpected turn when, as the man handling the object begins to move it, the pile itself starts to show signs of life. This sudden animation transforms what was assumed to be an inanimate object into a living entity, casting an aura of mystery and a touch of the uncanny over the entire scene. The nature of this creature is not immediately clear from the video, leaving me to ponder its origins and identity. I have never seen such a creature, but if any of you have encountered anything like this before, let me know in the comments. The video presents a strikingly unusual sight, a creature that, at first glance, defies the norms of natural biology. Held by its wings by a man, this creature appears to be a chicken, but with an unexpected twist. It has the head of what looks to be a monkey. Such an anomaly prompts immediate questions about the authenticity of what we're seeing. Given the extraordinary nature of this creature, skepticism naturally arises. The possibility of video editing or the use of a mask to create this bizarre visual effect seems plausible. Similarly, the idea of placing a mask on a chicken, while unusual, could achieve a similar effect without the need for digital manipulation. I'm inclined to approach this video with caution, leaning towards the explanation that there's some form of trickery at play. The idea of a chicken with a monkey's head, while fascinating, challenges our understanding of biology and genetics to such an extent that seeking a more rational explanation seems wise. If you got so far in the video, it means you're a dedicated viewer. Thank you. And if you subscribe and hit the bell button, I promise to keep posting these for you to enjoy. The video captures a serene and captivating moment on the ocean, filmed by a man from a boat. Near a small rocky island, a group of dolphins is seen frolicking in the water. They provide a delightful spectacle, embodying the beauty and grace of marine life. The boat is getting closer to get a better view of these magnificent creatures when suddenly this peaceful scene is abruptly interrupted by a sudden attack. The camera shakes violently, indicating that the boat has been struck from behind by an unseen force. It's soon revealed that a great white shark, one of the ocean's most formidable predators, is responsible for this startling aggression. I find the video very disturbing, and it is a reminder that even in the most peaceful moments, predators are still there waiting for us. In this video, a man films something super creepy from outside his house at night. He sees two pairs of eyes glowing in the dark, looking right at him. These eyes sometimes blink or even wink, which is really weird because most animals don't wink. When animals' eyes glow in the dark, it's usually because they have a special layer in their eyes that helps them see better at night. But animals winking, that's not something you see every day, and it makes the whole thing feel even creepier. To me, this video is a spooky reminder that there's so much out there we don't know about, especially in the dark. The idea of glowing eyes watching you in the night is enough to give anyone the chills. In this video, we're taken on a late-night drive through a forest, seen from the perspective of a passenger filming the journey. Everything changes when they have to slam on the brakes. Right there, in the middle of the road, is something you'd never expect. A strange figure that looks human, standing still, cloaked in black from head to toe. The driver tries everything to get it to move. He honks the horn, shouts, and even inches the car closer. But this cloaked figure just won't budge. It's like it doesn't even notice them. Finally, deciding enough is enough, the driver steps out of the car, determined to confront this mysterious roadblock. But here's where it gets really weird. When he reaches out and pulls the cloak away, there's nothing there. No person, no object, nothing that could explain how this cloak was standing upright in a perfectly human shape. It's as if they've encountered a ghost or some kind of invisible force. To me, this is seriously spooky stuff. How does a cloak stand in the middle of the road like it's wrapped around someone? But when you check, there's nothing there. In this fascinating video, a man is seen interacting with a freshly captured, still alive piranha. Holding the fish securely in his hand, he decides to test the famed cutting ability of its teeth. He takes a stick and inserts it into the piranha's mouth, curious to see if the small but notorious fish can indeed slice through it. Remarkably, each time the stick is placed in the mouth, the fish quickly cuts it, demonstrating the incredible strength and sharpness of its teeth. This experiment is repeated multiple times, consistently cutting through the stick effortlessly. It's a clear demonstration of the power packed into the jaws of such a small creature. Watching this, I'm struck by the sheer adaptability and specialized traits that evolution has bestowed upon creatures. If you've ever been in a house that is creepy after dark, and you are alone, you will understand what this young woman is going through. After a move to Ohio, she begins experiencing what can only be described as a kind of haunting or visitation by an unknown and deeply disturbing entity.
Puzzle I'm working on. Maybe when I'm done with it, I can send you this. Mom, I gotta go.
There are a few interesting things about what we've just watched. There is a general sense of unease emanating from the young woman before we even hear the loud thump. She keeps glancing in the direction of somewhere off camera, and she almost swallows her word when showing off her puzzle. She seems nervous right off the bat, and is trying hard to keep upbeat for her mother. The next video provides clear evidence that while she might think she's alone in the house, she's not.
There's the oven. It's kind of whack, but I put the nice towel that you sent me. Thank you.
As we just saw, she resumes the conversation, trying to keep a facade that everything is okay. She has moved to another room, perhaps somewhere she feels safer. The old oven seems to suggest that the house is slightly older, which adds to the creepiness of what follows. The story escalated quickly, as does the young woman's composure. She is no longer trying to put on a brave face. She is distraught as the house is bathed in darkness. Terrified, she lets on that it's back, which suggests that this is not the first time something like this has happened.
I think it's back.
The terrifying climax appears at the end, with a shadowy figure only made visible by two glowing eyes. The story ends with the return of a thumping sound, which we now know is whatever that entity is, knocking on the front door. She pleads with it to no avail as it continues to stand and stare at her like a psychopath. Whether truth or fiction, it makes for a frightening scenario. Two men returning to what appears to be a deserted and isolated house at night. It is unclear if the home is theirs, possibly abandoned due to what follows, or merely a site of strange activity. Either way, their behavior is odd. Pulling up, one of them focuses his flashlight at the windows. Pay close attention, or you just might miss it.
Holy f***. What? Go.
Most towns have one. Creepy, deserted old house that has given way to neglect. Perhaps the owners grew old and died. Perhaps something terrible happened there. This is one of those houses. Note the tall grass out front. The air of abandonment. And then, so quick, you almost miss it. The figure of a small boy standing in the doorway. Why is he there? What nightmare unfolded behind those walls? Why is he trapped, unable to leave? The men seem to know that the house has a reputation. They do not get out of the car. Even when it is clear the figure is the height of a child, they do not stop to investigate. Instead, they speed off into the night, leaving us to wonder what really happened there. Watch again in the zoomed-in footage. Illinois. Zoomed in and surprisingly clear footage captures something utterly terrifying amongst the trees. At first sight it is barely detectable, but then a figure emerges. A hulking bipedal creature stands almost as tall as the trees in the snow-covered landscape. Spotted, it begins to move. Is this a hoax or further compelling evidence to suggest that Bigfoot really exists? The scale of the creature positioned amongst the trees and the confident manner it moves in this snowy wilderness suggests that this is its home. The overall shape of the creature and the almost conical head add to the case for this being real. On being discovered, it vanishes into the trees. Chilling at home alone shouldn't be this stressful. Watch what happens in this unsuspecting encounter that really is too close for comfort.
I'm home alone, right? But
A ghostly reflection of what looks like a woman with long dark hair or something pulled over its head appears alongside the poster of the video. Shot in a seemingly continuous point of view, the image is quite terrifying, but her response to the moment is anything but. Perhaps I'd be more convinced if she wasn't so calm to her invisible flatmate. Her demeanor does little to suggest shock or horror. Does the poster just have nerves of steel? Or is it a hoax born of some editing? You be the judge. We see a lot of poor footage of Bigfoot online, which makes the videos we're showing in this episode something of an exception. This one, although zoomed in, seems to capture the creature in fairly close proximity. Pay attention to the movement of this Bigfoot. It has a somewhat different gait to others we've seen. Could this relaxed stride be due to the fact that the creature is unaware that it has been discovered? Or is that the most epic Halloween costume? On Trail Terror, we feature a number of clips of animals in their natural habitat, particularly deer and elk during rutting season. These animals display a diverse number of vocalizations that serve to not only attract mates, but warn others of danger. A Texas police officer stops at a rest stop and records the following sound emanating from the woods beyond. Is initially noticeable is the sheer volume of the bellow. It feels almost otherworldly. Could this be the call of a really large stag or elk? Or as this police officer suggests, the cry of Bigfoot? This startling footage claims to capture the face of Bigfoot. The likeness to human features is incredibly disturbing, but the more you look at the sheer size of its head and the somewhat large gap between its round eyes, these features resemble something less human. Here, the creature seems relaxed and even curious as it glances in the direction of the camera. It knows it's being watched, but in turn it is watching. In other videos, Bigfoot hunters claim that these creatures often have one member who serves as a lookout to protect its family. We have showed earlier videos on this channel where similar close-ups of Bigfoot's face have been captured, but the picture quality has not been as clear. This face confirms the face captured in other sightings, supplying a compelling case for its existence.
Someone climbing up the wall. It's an iceman. It's a ghost. Jesus, what is that?
This somewhat poor quality footage captures a humanoid shape scaling the rock on a mountain without any kind of safety equipment or clothing for that matter. The creature shows remarkable pace and agility as it moves effortlessly further up the mountain face. Is this a nudist rock climber out getting his kicks? Or is it something more sinister? The creepy, almost ghostly white skin suggests it should be avoided. Two ghostly figures are captured in this footage taken at Yosemite. The weird creatures resemble a type of cryptid, but instead of the elongated body, they have no real torso. Mainly legs and a featureless head, where no eyes, nose, ears, or mouth are apparent. Note the one-dimensional nature of their shape and profile. The stilted walk that shifts to an almost ghost-like floating movement. The figures lurch down the hill in a bizarre fashion, twirling in a creepy dance before disappearing from the frame. Apart from location, there is not much more to go on. If you know what these are, let us know in the comments. In general, malls are seldom the first choice for a paranormal fright night. Those are relegated to creepy old houses or deserted museums. However, The Last of Us changed that with its utterly enchanting and terrifying mall scenes. As did this video, a night duty security guard in a deserted mall after hours has a seriously disturbing shift. It begins with sound disturbances that provide no explanation for what has caused them.
It's creepy, man. You're so freaking creepy.
Followed by a creepy encounter with a paranormal entity in the food court. Watch, she captures the impossible on camera before getting the hell out of there.
These freaking chairs just moved. What the Okay. I'm done.
Clearly, no salary is worth this kind of harassment. A peaceful night at home. A woman prepares for bed when her dog spots something or someone lurking in the shadows, just beyond the living room.
Get ready to go to bed myself. What the
is that? What? Oh, God! Fuck!
If their reaction and hers are anything to go by, this isn't a hoax. Watch closely as the apparition appears for mere seconds before vanishing again. We're bringing you some really clear and compelling Bigfoot sightings in this episode of Trail Terror. Watch as this unsuspecting person spots the bipedal creature with its characteristic reddish fur in close proximity. There is the briefest moment where the two face, the beast alerted to the camera person by their panicked shouting. Fortunately, the shy Bigfoot disappears into the forest, avoiding confrontation. A TikToker who posts videos of strange events happening around her home was startled at the sound she heard while putting her chicks away in the pen.
What the fuck?
The sound coming from the forest was like an animal's cry for help. And so she shined her torchlight into the woods while recording. She captures a white figure next to a tree. At first glance, it wasn't there, but when she circled back to look in the same direction, her camera was able to capture a thin white figure at the left side of a tree. The strangest thing was that the figure disappeared after being out of the camera's recording range. Could it be that the mysterious white figure was making those eerie sounds in the forest? Or could it have scared an animal in the woods and caused it to make the bizarre sound? On a clear day, a man happens to capture what looks like Bigfoot casually walking out through a small clearing of a forest and back into the woods. The creature's features may prove it to be Bigfoot, as it walks on twos and appears much more prominent than the average human height. Its arms extend downwards below the waistline and seem to have a thick coat of brown fur. The video quality isn't as clear and makes it hard to make out what the face looks like, but its tall, towering stature, long ape-like arms, and the appearance of thick fur could be an indication of the existence of the cryptid Bigfoot. A woman enjoying the comfort of her home on a sofa happens to see something strange at the window right next to her door that sends chills down her spine. A dark figure appears at the window, also captures the attention of two of her dogs, who stare at the door, putting the lady's nerves on edge. She starts to record it, and the dark figure disappears after some time. The dogs disperse, notifying the lady that the supposed danger that appeared on her door may be gone, but it leaves the lady puzzled as to what this figure could be, and its intentions. For all we know, it could be a shadow of a harmless animal walking around and happening to wind up at her front door, or maybe something sinister could be lurking around stalking on the house residents. Two kids were recording their adventure while in the woods when they heard screams coming from deeper within. The screams started as a faint cry for help, but as they walked deeper into the forest, they grew louder, as though someone was desperately trying to escape an ordeal. At first, they think it is some children trying to summon demons by shouting. To them, it appears to be some kind of a joke, but the louder the screams got, the scarier they became. Eventually, they near where their screams were. They panic, and they decide to retreat from the forest into a nearby grassland. Even after distancing from the scene, they could still hear the desperate cries for help from the forest. The kids might have presumed it to be a joke, but maybe something serious could be happening, and a victim needed help. I think it would be best if the kids could have dialed and reported to the authorities. This wildlife enthusiast was taking a nature walk in the middle of the forest when he caught it all with his camera. There, when he zooms his camera, the creature comes into view. It is in a hunched position, making it hard to recognize its face. It has a towering height and covered with thick brown fur. It notices it is being watched and tries to hide between the branches. As the video continues, the creature struts away, leaving the witness speculated. Maybe this could be an ordinary orangutan that could be easily mistaken with the legendary Bigfoot. In this clip, a young couple are visited by an unexpected visitor who constantly was knocking the door and trying to forcefully enter. Their dog barks, putting them on high alert that this could be a potential threat. They are scared to the bones, but the man decides to make a bold move. He turns on the lights on the stairs and starts to walk down towards the door to check out what could be making these ominous noises at their door. As he nears the door, the knocking noises suddenly stop. He tries to inquire who it is,
Hello?
but there is no answer. Suddenly, without warning, it appears as if the mysterious being manages to enter and video ends while the man flees from the imminent danger. Could this be a malevolent spirit known to cause disturbances in households? Or somebody dangerous could be terrorizing them? Imagine being all alone in a forest in the middle of the night, and you suddenly get the gut feeling you are being watched. Well, this curious man was not new to this when he encountered something really strange in the woods. Upon spotting something with his flashlight, he decides to record it. When he zooms on the figure, there, it reveals itself. A gray ghost entity appears right next to a tree, just right beside the path. The person in this clip might have a story to tell as horror unravels in front of their eyes. The ghost-like entity appears to be slowly rising up, exposing more of its pale structure. It has elongated arms that stretch below its supposed waistline. Its face isn't clearly seen, but it has taken a humanoid form. I think this is some type of cryptid, or worse, it could be the infamous skinwalker. What would you do when faced with such a figure that looks to be straight out of a horror film? A man walking in the forest stumbles upon a strange sight that is worth a shot. He captures a tall, huge figure standing at the top of the sloped forest. At first, we only see the figure's tall, towering stature, but when it faces the camera direction, we are able to make out some of the figure's features. It appears to walk like a human, but it has an abnormal height. It has a relatively small head in relation to the body and tall, lanky, long arms. We are not able to make out whether the figure had fur on its body. One might say it is a human with a large costume, trying to cause a speculation, but this figure is truly a remarkable one, and it could be a rare sighting of the Bigfoot. In the dead of night, a man and his daughter caught something watching them in the grasslands. As they shine their light into the dark, they happen to see two shiny objects that look like shining orbs. As soon as they move around, we can easily see that is a creature of some sort, and the glowing eyes could be actually stalking on them. The man notifies the creature that they know it is there.
I see you.
But it responds by drifting away. Perhaps it could be an animal who happened to pass by. And its attention was caught by the people in the grasslands, or something else that we don't know of and likes to walk around in the middle of the night stalking people. This ghoulish animal in the video was caught off the Malaysian coast by fisherman Anwar Pak Tam, and though it looks like an eel, it's something else entirely. It is elongated, having a wide mouth with sharp teeth at the front and dorsal fins coming out of its sides. What's weird is that the creature seems to have no eyes. Some people speculated the creature to be a sea monster, but in fact it is a type of eel called the eel goby. Eel gobies are a subfamily of elongated mud. They have greatly reduced eyes and large mouths. However, the one in the clip appears to be very large for an eel goby, as most of them are smaller in size, and can sometimes be found in groups. They can be pink, red, or purple in color. They are carnivorous, as some are seen being fed the claw of a crab. As scary as it looks, they are common in muddy coastal areas. It's the 4th of July and fireworks are exploding throughout USA suburbs. The cacophony of sound has woken something off the beaten path. A woman hears low growling coming from somewhere in the nearby foliage. She ventures to explore, and this is what she finds.
Oh, stay bright. What the fuck is that? What is that? Oh, it's moving. No, fuck that. No, fuck that. I don't know what the fuck I just...
In the replay, this creature is clearly seen crouching at the base of a tree. Is it a Sasquatch or someone playing a prank? Have the raucous sounds of revelry driven it closer to the suburbs in fear or curiosity, or is it using this opportunity to hunt? Watch the replay and let us know what you think in the comments. Picture this. It's nighttime. You are all alone on a deserted trail surrounded by nature, and then you hear what can only be described as a shriek from somewhere in the woods beyond you. You might want your headphones for this.
Oh my god, no.
Is it the scream of a woman? Or is it just a cat getting ready to fight? You be the judge. An unsuspecting couple survey their home security camera footage after discovering a disturbance on their property. What it reveals is this creature lurking in the foliage. Tentatively, it peers out in the direction of the camera. Is it a cryptid? Or perhaps a little gray man? The creature moves tentatively, alert to the environment. In some parts of the footage, it is almost possible to decipher its body, which could very well be in keeping with the size and shape of a small to medium dog. Take a look. Is this something sinister or the neighbor's pet? Drop us your thoughts in the comments. When you consider that approximately 80% of the world's ocean is unmapped and unseen, it's a pretty terrifying and mystifying place to explore. These divers are having what seems like a fairly placid marine visit, but keep watching to see what crops up in the murky water. The internet provides us with some perplexing footage. When confronted with a nightmarish creature of this magnitude and its deadly razor-sharp teeth, instead of swimming away, these divers actually go over to pet the beast. On closer inspection, it doesn't appear to be living. Instead, there's a metal frame that it seems to be mounted on. Is this a movie prop for Jaws? If it isn't, the real mystery is how it found its way to the bottom of the ocean. Is there anything creepier than falling victim to a stalker, especially when the creature stalking you is Bigfoot? Caught on camera, two shining eyes appear from a forest canopy. The vast head suggests that this is something you don't want to mess with. The two face off for the duration of the video. Probably a wise move on the cameraman's behalf, not to get any closer. There's an ongoing joke about Bigfoot sightings always captured on shaky, low-res cameras. But the overwhelming number of these sightings does suggest that there is something out there that we have yet to explain. Here, what resembles the half-ape, half-Neanderthal creature moves through a forest, its genus a sure giveaway when you witness its height. There is no greater feeling of terror than being alone at home and having unexplained things happen. Most we can rationalize. It's the wind, or it's an old house, when we hear something strange. But what do you do when it's as obvious and disturbing as what this guy encounters?
And look at this door. You cannot make... Look at this. Bro. Nobody is home. My family is in Cancun, bro. You gotta be kidding me. Bro. What?
If you ask me, he should have gone to Cancun with his family.
Bentley? Bro. Are you me right now? Are you kidding me right now? What the Bro.
Not sure if this is the work of a poltergeist, but I am sure it would be an annoying one to deal with. Imagine the water cost for all their jokes.
Holy... Why is this door open? What the is going on?
I'm not sure if this video is real or not, but if it is, I would for sure not be hanging around that place for too long. Hospitals can be terrifying places for a number of reasons, but this one takes the cake. Watch closely the area to the left of the wheelchair. A shadowy figure appears, and then scurries away in a matter of seconds. You might have been mistaken, thinking it was a shadow, but watch again. Whatever the mischievous vision is, it moves beyond the wall to settle for a few seconds behind the chair before running off again. Let's face it, most horrors are made even creepier with the presence of a little kid, especially a girl child. Now couple that with an imaginary friend who is actually a paranormal imposter, and you have all the makings of a horror fest. This is exactly what happens here. Skeptics might argue that there is a human just beyond the reach of the camera. But look at when she reaches to offer it the plastic container. Whatever is there is in the frame. We just can't see it. She seems agitated by the encounter as she talks to it, and it appears to attempt to take the canister. It isn't long before she turns on her heels and is out of there. A man is walking when he spots something emerging from the forest to his left on all fours. Ghostly pale with a lengthy abdomen and short legs, the creature crosses the path. Where it is going, we will never know, as the guy filming doesn't stick around to find out. What is this thing that he encountered on his walk? How does it survive in the wild? The footage is way too compelling to simply write it off. There are things out there that we have no knowledge of. It isn't every day one gets to combine their love for cats and the paranormal, but this video provides both. Watch as a family's pet feline is given some special attention by an invisible entity captured on their security camera. The feline remains surprisingly calm, as if this isn't its first encounter with the ghost. Watch as it casually saunters off after the experience. Cats often get a bad rap, especially black ones. In tales from the occult, black cats are familiars and shapeshifters, witches, spies, and in some instances protectors from the supernatural. Watch as a street camera captures this bizarre incident. Deliberate arson, black magic, or just a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. You be the judge. In this intriguing video, captured by a surveillance camera in a parking lot, we witness an ordinary scene that quickly takes an extraordinary turn. A woman enters the frame, rummaging through her bag, seemingly in search of something. She finds a spray and proceeds to apply it all over her body, but accidentally drops it on the ground. In her attempt to retrieve the spray, it unfortunately rolls under a nearby car. What happens next is nothing short of astonishing. The woman, determined to get her spray back, looks under the car and then, to the viewer's disbelief, lifts the vehicle into the air as if it were no heavier than a feather. Not being able to retrieve the spray, she casually places the car back down, as if such feats of strength are everyday occurrences. Not stopping there, she then pushes the car aside with ease, as though it were as light as a shopping cart, and manages to get her spray back. This scene is so unusual, it almost defies belief, suggesting the car must be incredibly lightweight, or that the video captures something not immediately explainable by ordinary physics. It's as if, for a moment, the rules of the world have changed, and what we thought impossible becomes casually achievable. Watching this, I'm left with a mix of amazement and skepticism. Whether it's a trick, an illusion, or a genuine display of unexplained phenomena, this moment captured on camera certainly provides food for thought. If you want to see more strange and interesting footage, check this out. Thanks for tuning in.